Yeah. More of that was good.
Just got a call from Kenny Stepp. He wants to wish everyone a Merry Christmas here. And I was just on the phone with Crawford County. And he's Steve Reinhardt. Make sure you tell Jeff and Holly Merry Christmas. And
He was a good guy.
Girls got Christmas party out. Oh, you locked her up here. I thought maybe you took her to do a hermit.
Good morning. We will call this board, the Seneca County Board of Commissioners session to order for Tuesday, December 23rd. Please join us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lord, we thank you again for this day that you've given us, this gift. We're thankful for this Advent season. We celebrate Christ coming into our world. We ask for your blessings on our meeting and all of the activities of the day. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Oh, roll call, please.
Commissioner Stacy?
Here.
Commissioner Zoller?
here.
Commissioner Wagner?
Here.
The signing of the journal, and I'll accept a motion to approve the DVD recording from the previous board session, Tuesday, December 16th, in the index.
I make a motion to approve it as outlined.
Second.
And moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, approved. Thanks.
Are you getting sick?
I'm trying to get over it. I've been sick for a couple of days. I said
We need to get you gloves while she's passing down.
Don't put those near me.
Don't touch these things.
I said that earlier, you didn't hear me. More for you.
Gotta admit, it's more, wasn't that never mind.
You are being recorded. All right, any adjustments to the agenda?
The only thing, the 2015 budgets, we can either do that under old business or we can do that at the end, whatever. Whichever you want.
We need to, we've all received an email from Cindy Dunn talking about the ice rink and some of the things she wants to do and so forth.
Anything else? Nikki, anything to add? Anything?
No, I don't have a lot to add, but I did have a meeting last Friday with Green Springs, Pleasant, and Adams Township, referenced the EMS thing, and I'm in the process of investigating. I have spoken with Chief Ennis yesterday, had a meeting with North Central, the ambulance service, had a meeting with Ken Majors, discussions with Crawford County, and I'm gathering more information on that, and I'll report back from the board sometime first of the year on that. Again, I was sought out by Green Springs, Pleasant, and Adams Township and this whole EMS thing, and what I know about it makes a very, very short story, so I'm trying to educate myself and what they're asking for and what they want. See if we can come up with some sort of resolution that will appease everybody here.
Well, let's continue with the old business and then the ice rink. Yes, Cindy had emailed us a request regarding extension of the original date of the application and then also on putting sand down. I had replied to her by email. I don't know what anyone else had said to her what we needed to discuss. I just thought unless somebody makes fills out either a new application or comes in and adjusts the original application, we still should probably take that through the channels for approval on the time extension, which I understand that obviously December's kind of been a wash.
Yeah.
Not over yet, but close. And then on the sand, after talking to our maintenance guys, they said actually they could probably just rake it or spread it out across the lawn as far as it would go. It's not gonna probably go far. And they could leave it there as long as they take care of doing that when they're done. So I shared that with her, so I don't know what other comments are.
My position on the, I mean, I'm certainly fine with extending into February, but I do have an objection with the sand. I just, and as a matter of fact, I spoke with Cindy this morning, it's nothing personally with her. I mean, it's a courthouse lawn. I mean, what happens in the summer if all of a sudden somebody wants to dig it out and put mud in there and have mud wrestling competition? I mean, it's a courthouse lawn. And to go ahead and put sand there, I could just see that it's gonna be it could potentially be a mess if it's drug all around. I mean, we all know sand at a beach, it gets over everything. Well, I don't care to have it in the courtrooms and in all the county buildings and so forth. I would prefer, and again, it's not that my foot's planted in this. If the other two commissioners agree with it, so be it. But I just don't think it's the proper use for county property to start hauling a couple truckloads of sand in on the courthouse.
Well, my guess is they wouldn't use that much. I guess I don't know the quantity they're talking about, but like I said, maintenance had assured me that they thought if they either removed it and or spread it out, it wouldn't be a problem because that lawn is far from lush.
Stellar.
Far from lush. Doesn't look bad from the road, but when you get up like in the RTA and look down on it, it's got a lot of room for improvement. But it had a building on it at one time, and that's probably why. What do you
I
think?
don't have a problem. They're not talking a lot of sand. I think they just want to level the ice. I don't think it'll cause a long-term issue.
Yeah.
Like you say, as long as they clean it up or spread it out or whatever.
Yeah. So I guess we can confirm, find out how much they think they're talking about. I mean,
I haven't heard from her.
Okay.
Well, I think they need to have an answer, because again, she called me this morning and we're gonna haul it in today. They got the truck lined up, they've got everything lined up, and again, I just told Cindy, I said, I'm sorry, I can't support it, but I will text her. I mean, even the point I'm gonna text her whatever the approval of this board is. And
Yeah,
you know my stance on it, and I'm not,
And she hasn't filled out a new buildings and applications ground for the extension or for the sand, so, I mean, you told her that process, she needs to at least,
yeah.
because I gotta run it through by the judges. I mean, obviously you guys don't care, but,
Well, the first part's been approved up through
Right.
January.
so it's just an extension through February.
And that-
and she gotta get additional approval to haul the sand. I mean, does that have to go through the whole process
I
of
would,
the judges? And I wouldn't think so. It's a matter of this board if we
No.
approve it or not,
Okay.
I would think.
I would think so.
Yeah, as far as the sand goes. Yeah, again, assuming I'm guessing it's not even a full truckload. I'm guessing they just wanna, I don't know how big the whole thing is, I forget the dimensions, but I assume that just some spots are lower than others and that they're putting a liner down on top, which they said they wouldn't put on until later because of it getting, they don't want it to prevent the ground from getting cold. They want the ground to get cold enough to freeze
Yeah.
ice. So,
I don't have,
I don't either. I'm okay with the sand too. Like I said, we find out it's truckloads, I think I feel differently, but if it's, like I said, if the maintenance guys didn't think it was a problem, as long as they, like I said, raked it out and spread it out, and or haul it all away, whichever they want to do, but my comment to her was that obviously it could potentially be frozen when they tear down, that they might have to come back when they can physically move it, as long as they make sure they get that done as soon as they can. So it doesn't end up blowing all over into the sidewalks and get drug into the buildings. And
I mean,
that
you know my opinion on it, and, I mean, I'll abide whatever this board's decision is. And that's why we have three of us.
we'll have to evaluate the mud wrestling this summer.
Could I interview the candidates? Strike that from the record.
It's too late now.
Okay, so I can send her a text, because she
Sure.
wanted to get something done before the holidays here, and everyone's leaving tomorrow, and blah, 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 so forth and so on, so, okay.
All right, the 2015 budget.
Yep. I had put a draft on each of your desks last night, as I was kind of trying to finish up some of the amounts. I don't know if you wanted to go through any of them individually, and if you'd have the chance to look at them, if you want me to address anything that I did, as long as you're okay. I did add the 3% in for the employees. A couple of the requests, Jean's request, I put in the amount that she was short on her payroll and then gave her just the 3%. I didn't give her extra for the raises. Same with our treasurer's office. Gave him half of what he requested since we had already given him quite a bit last year. So took him up half of what he was short and then gave him the 3%. So those will look a little different. Removed one of the cars from the sheriff's office. He requested 3. I still left in 2. I talked to him and said, if carryover's good and you need the extra cars, that we would address it with the carryover next year. That's okay. Anything, any other?
Might note the largest increase is in veteran services because of their millage.
Yep, it went from 488 last year up to 577 that they're gonna get this year based on the millage. Usually they give it back at the end of the year, so they usually don't use it all, but we do appropriate the full millage.
And I see you took SIDEC completely out, so that's great.
I did, because I didn't think they needed any money. No, the 17 we did, last year's there, and along with the 50,000, if that's where you want to go. It's in there. It was.
You almost had to call EMS too.
Well, I guess I'd like to comment just, a list of a few things just to note with this particular budget, and with Stacy checking out for me this morning. It's be the first time in 7 years we've had a budget, it'd be the highest we've had it in 7 years, if we approve a $15.7 million budget. We're fortunate to be able to do that, but obviously this is probably the single most important thing that we do, as we try to do our best with managing the revenues that are from the taxpayers, for the taxpayers, and providing the services that we provide, and the additional things that we desire to provide for various reasons. And in no particular order, noted a few things, and one being that 3% in salary lines. This will allow our supervisors, our department heads, elected officials to do what they find necessary for their employees, whether they look at it as merit, performance rated, whatever they do. We've been able to give them some monies to do some things with, because that's extremely important. There was challenges with it. The Board of Elections, we increased their amount, not to what they asked for, but again, some things coming down from the state that, again, we get to pay for it, we just don't get to make the decisions on what they get forced to do. So that's in there. We've got the monies in there for the county museum. The museum and the majority of its contents belong to us, and we need to take care of those things. And we're doing that for the last quarter of this year, helping out, and we've got it in here to be able to continue doing that in the last year of our current lease arrangement with the Seneca County Historical Society. And so that's in here.
Those are expenses that are in our current maintenance.
Yeah.
We're not including a line for the museum.
No.
We're just.
No, but we know that we are going to be
Yes.
able to do it.
Yep.
Yep. And then, last but not least, the other significant thing, I think it's important that we are taking the leadership step, as well as in a cooperative way, the increase to SIDEC, in doing that, because we want to be part of the momentum that exists now. David, since you've come on board in just 1 year's time, what you've done has been tremendous, and I'm just grateful that we're able to do that, because we want to be part of that momentum going forward, and we're able to we've got that commitment in there for you for next year. Obviously, we hope we're able to do it for the second year as well, but I think those things are well worth noting in this budget time. And although we couldn't do everything that everybody asked, we're up to 16.2 if we approved everything everybody wanted, and I don't think, obviously the auditor and the board of budget commission was not going to give us that much money, because we can't prove that we'd have that much money, but pretty happy that we're able to to allocate 15.7 million in all of these various ways, so just my comments on it.
I think it needs to be noted that while we allowed a 3% raise for the county employees, that does not, and I repeat, does not include any elected officials. Elected officials, we don't govern, that's governed by the Ohio Revised Code. So no elected official received any additional money. I think that's extremely noteworthy. And I think we also have to realize is that the extra, roughly about 400,000 that we were, 400,000 of the increase this year on the, with the Budget Commission allowed us, had to do with some farm property tax, and I don't understand the whole thing, but apparently that's a short-term issue.
It was the reval, and the reval's done every 3 years. So what goes up could come down. So we'll be at this level for 3 years, but then the reevaluation will occur again, so therefore it could go the other way.
Okay, so I mean, I think that's something that we all need to be cognizant of, is we certainly gobbled up that money pretty quick. That could just as well go by the wayside, so. What does the taxpayer give us, the taxpayers may take us away.
And just to, you mentioned Board of Elections, just to note, I met with them yesterday to go over some of the things that I was proposing with them. I did go over each of their contracts with them, and initially we had said maybe 70,000 instead of the 90,000. It come up to like 71,500 some odd dollars for their contract services, and he wanted me to express he noted you were disappointed in the contract services. The one contract that the training was for, it wasn't one of their huge contracts, but he did cut that contract in half because of the training, and they're going to continue the training that without asking for that money for years to come. They're hoping so. The training did do some good. They did cut that one contract, and then they are working on their bigger contract. They're large with, I want to say ESI, I think is the name of the contract, and that'll come up first quarter. So I said, just let us know when you get the contracts or the quotes, and then we can readdress that contract when it comes in. So I did put that up to 72,000 because they did show me the contracts and what they had. The precinct workers compromised and did 120 a day. I think you guys discussed that day in board. And so that amount is in there for up to the 49,000. And then the salary employees, did 3% on their salaries. I did request that if they were intending on the director and the deputy director to have that raise, to just send us a letter, and he seemed fine with that. Just that way it's clear for us and clear for our records and future, if we're not here, future records, that it was noted that the commissioner did receive it in writing and approve it in writing, so.
And there was no money for additional employees in there?
Correct.
Just the current?
Just the current, and then the 3%, so. The only other thing, I think they needed 1,000 in other expenses for some fees, like we do with our CCAO fees. They had some fees, but we didn't give them anything last year, so. I think that's all of the trying to remember all the major changes. The insurance went up just a little bit, but we knew that was coming. It wasn't very much. Any other sections that I may be missing that you want to go over? Everybody pretty much stayed within their budgets, and they didn't ask for anything unreasonable. So
I appreciate all your work on this, Stacy. We should take the bull by the horns on this and deal with our comments and questions, and obviously have to get everything from all the elected officials and department heads and get it put together and keep bringing it back and going back with it and so forth. So appreciate all your work on it.
thank you.
Okay, anything else on it? If not, I guess we could go ahead and approve the 2015 budget.
Okay. I have annual appropriation resolution for the general fund for 2015, beginning January 1st, 2015, and ending December 31st, 2015. I will go through the totals, and I do have copies if anybody wants any copies. I can print the copies I got. Commissioner's office, $308,741.71. The mailroom, $110,555. The auditor's office, $250,117.85. Treasurer's office, $154,893.20. Prosecutor's office, $646,913.68. Examiner's line, $99,000. Data processing, $36,000. Board of Elections, $331,273.13. Maintenance, $973,217.54. Recorder's office, $205,040.24. Insurance and pension, $1,631,045. Common Pleas 2, $127,281.87. Domestic Relation, Common Pleas 2, $96,190.96. Common Pleas 1, $126,855.91. Domestic Relation on Common Pleas 1, $96,190.86. Probate Court, $215,731.49. Clerk of Courts, $220,198.17. Public Defender, $3,850. Common Pleas Courts Support Services, this is a joint fund for Common Pleas, $236,383.70. Tiffin Fostoria Courts, $251,900. Juvenile Court, $751,849.97. Youth Center, $742,170.46. Coroner, $93,579.21. Sheriff's Office on the roadside, $1,763,367.53. Jail side, $3,274,089. Court security, $97,991.90. Tax map, $58,727.17. Airport, $25,000. Miscellaneous, $302,000. Contingencies, $1,147,728.38. Agriculture, $233,600. Vital statistics, $1,000. Children with handicaps, $97,684.35. Our recycled content, $65,000. Veteran Services Commission, $577,926.67. The Veteran Services Memorial Day expenses line, $21,000, and our public assistance line, $379,185, for a total of $15,753,274.85. That is all the general fund.
I have a motion.
I'll move we approve.
Seconded.
Motion and a second to approve the 2015 budget. Any additional comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Wagner,
Yes.
Commissioner Zoller,
Yes.
Commissioner Stacy.
Yes. Approved.
I do have the non-generals if you want me to do those now, since we're still in budgets.
Yes.
Non-generals are a little longer than generals. And the annual appropriation resolution for various funds for 2015, beginning January 1st, 2015, and ending December 31st, 2015. These were all verified with the auditor's office and budget commission that the revenues that they're asking for budgets were certified correctly, so they're all under their revenues. I have real estate assessment fund 016, $723,508.24. Ditch maintenance, $365,000. CSEA, that's 019, Job and Family Services, it's $1,241,370. M&R Fund 020, that's the engineers, is $4,363,399.20. The Treasurer's DRECHAC Fund, $26,622. The Prosecutor's DRECHAC Fund, $51,160.97. Commissary Fund, $22,210. If the Public Assistance 030, Job and Families, $4,375,790.35. Law Library, $77,206.70. Dog and Kennel Fund 035, $227,851.71. Bulletproof Vest Grant, $20,000. Soil and Water, $616,190. Allen Irie Fund 043, $57,201.51. Drug Forfeitures Fund 046, $1,000. Concealed Carry Fund 047 is $25,500. EMS Fund 064 is $519,643.55. Workforce Fund 066, $436,350. 68 Fund, the 911 Fund, $9,668.20. Mental Rotary is 072 for $300. Marriage License Fund, $12,500. Children's Services 078, $737,000. Juvenile Special Projects Fund, $600. Foster Children Fund, $2,400. Sheriff's Community Corrections Grant Fund, 086, $23,885.42. The Wireless 911 Fund, 087, is $82,500. Probate Special Project Fund, 093, for $38,302.08. The Employees Health Insurance Fund, $2,378,920. Indigent Guardian Fund 100 is $8,600. EMA Fund 102, $156,748. Probate 103 is $1,000. Computerized Legal Research $5,000. Special Projects Fund 108, $10,947. The VOCA Fund 158, which she has two of those. One for $126,419.23. And our other VOCA is the $7,019. Computer Research Fund 113, $5,800. VAP Court Costs Fund $400. County Sewer District for the Hammer Heinsman, $29,199.91. Bascom, $241,657.11. New Regal, $167,470.28. And next page, Honey Creek, $34,884.91. The US 23 State Route 224 sewer, $43,412.64. Probate Computer Fund, $19,000. Clerk of Courts Computer Fund, $35,000. The Hazardous Mitigation Fund, $3,750. Clerk of Courts Title Fund, $184,096.49. Recorder's Equipment Fund, $20,000. Delinquent Care and Custody, $149,089.62. Washington Street Bridge, 161 for $300. Delinquent care and custody grant, 162, $143,129.65. Underground storage tank, $11,854.51. Annexation fund, $700. Community service fund, $5,000. Juvenile program and services fund, $42,850. Metrich fund, $40,000. Flex spending account, $31,800. Metrich drug fund, $1,000. Safe Havens grant, she has none for this year. Capital improvements, $1,274,334.60. Impaired driving enforcement fund, 220, $17,587.87. Selective traffic enforcement fund, 222, $11,725.25. Pre-sentencing investigation rider fund, $54,343.50. Bond retirement, $574,042.50. And our capital notes, facilities notes, $1,074,815. That is all of the non-general fund. One comment is I do not have any of regional planning's grants. I did not receive a budget from regional planning. I did get Mark's assistance getting the sewer district funds, the money in place. We just used the numbers from last year, and the auditor's office was okay with that, but got a couple of emails and phone calls into Roxanne, so I didn't know if regional planning had discussed, I mean, the CHIP, they're ours, so I don't know if they'd really bring that up in regional planning, but we do not have those yet.
Our budgets, they're gonna finalize next Tuesday or Wednesday.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah, with Roxanne being
Yeah.
new with the process, that kind of fell behind, and there was
Sure.
a couple dates missed that we'll try to get together, so next Tuesday or Wednesday, I think it's probably Tuesday.
All right,
And so they'll have those before the end of the year.
okay.
My question is on the bond retirement, 500 and some thousand. I just want to make sure I'm on the right track. I understand that we will retire in 2019. It'll be our last payment of about 450,000 of that 560 or whatever that you mentioned.
Yeah, the 485,000 of it is the actual principal part of it, and we pay $89,042.50 for the interest. I think it's, the last payment is in 2018.
I think 18.
Oh, 18,
18.
2018 will be the last payment. Well, that's not the whole five. We have two bonds out there, don't we?
One bond
One for
and
450 and one for
one's the notes. We have bonds and we have
Okay,
the notes.
so
The
two-
notes is the energy,
two payments.
yeah.
But roughly 450,000 will retire in 2018, so we got
Our
four more,
bond,
It'll-
3 more
it
years.
drops
Drops,
down.
yeah.
In 18, it drops dramatically, but we don't actually pay it off till 23, I believe.
Yeah, the second note. Of the 550,000,
Yeah.
roughly, 450 of that drops off in 18, and the other 100 drops off in 23.
I think it's the same bond, isn't it? It just, the
Yeah,
payment
just the
drops.
payment
I think
drops.
I think it's the same bond, the payment just drops dramatically in
Okay.
18.
Yeah.
And then we have the notes beside that that we can pay off whenever
Yeah.
we have the money.
Yeah. And that's when we basically refinance ourselves through
Each
the
December.
treasurer's office. Makes sense? Okay.
Motion to approve the non-general revenue.
I make a
Budget.
motion to approve the non-general funds as discussed.
I'll second.
A motion and a second. You call the roll, please.
Commissioner Wagner,
Yes.
Commissioner Zoller,
Yes.
Commissioner Stacy.
Yes, approved. Thanks. If there's no further old business, we will proceed with new business.
Okay. I have an appropriation adjustment within the general fund And this is, looks like they're, at the sheriff's request, they're cleaning up some of their accounts for end of year. Most of these are probably what they are, is cleaning up the amounts for the end of the year. He's taking $550 from his salaries on the roadside to the jail side. Supplies, $904.28 from his roadside to his jail side. $266.51 from uniforms to salaries. $70.73 from other expense to salaries. $626.27 from contract services to salaries. $963.37 from other expense to salaries. Transporting prisoners, $263.44 from transport prisoners to salaries. $377.25 from training to salaries. $106.52 from supplies to salaries. And $67.48 from supplies to salaries. And each salary is, I don't have them totaled up per fund, but all but the last one are on his jail side, and the last one's on the court security. For total moved, $4,195.85. I have a supplement to the permit appropriations for the Sheriff's Office Impaired Driving Enforcement Grant Fund, 220, putting $832.71 into salaries. I have a resolution authorizing a fund advance repayment from the Help America Vote Grant Fund, 214, moving the $2,300 from 214 back to the general fund. I have a resolution authorizing an appropriation adjustment within the Help America Vote Grant Fund, taking the $240 out of the salaries to put it into other expense. Resolution authorizing an appropriation adjustment within the general fund, moving $5,000 from supplies to equipment. This is at the request of the auditor's office. I have a supplemental decrease to the permit appropriations for the VOCA Expansion Project Fund, 112, reducing supplies, trying to add some zeros to this. Reducing $51.46 in supplies, contract services by $108.73. I'm seeing doubles, I'm seeing crazy numbers. Yes. Travel reduction, $328.92. Other expense, $975.50 from other. $188.64 from hospitalization. A penny from PRS, $194.64 from salaries, $40.76 from contracts from supplies, $1,499.19 from contract services, $547.57 from travel, $2.83 from Medicare, $4.17 from PRS, for total reduction $3,942.39. I have a supplement to the permit appropriation for the VOCA Expansion Project Fund, 112, putting $9,623.33 into the transfers outline. And I have a resolution authorizing a fund transfer be made to the VOCA Expansion Project Fund, 158, taking the $9,623.33 from the 112 to her 158. I have resolution authorizing an appropriation adjustment within the general fund, moving $2,624 from workers' comp to transfer public assistance line. I have a resolution authorizing a fund transfer be made to the Children's Services 078 and Public Assistance 030, moving $150,000 from contract services to their transfers in, and $100 from transfers, contract services to the transfers in, one to the 170, or 078 and one to the 030, for total $250,000. I have a resolution authorizing an appropriation adjustment within the forfeited land tax sale fund, 055, retroactive to December 16, 2014, moving $180.64 from other expense to transfers out. I have resolution authorizing a fund advance from the general fund to the sheriff's office impaired driving enforcement program fund, 220, moving $800 from our advance out to their advance in. And a resolution authorizing a contract service agreement with Kimmel Cleaners for mat services, various county-owned buildings. I have amending the board's orders of December 23rd, which is today. Why are we amending today's?
And is that what the resolution says too?
That's what the resolution says.
I don't know, that was Tanya. Hang on, let me see what day it really was.
Okay.
What was it, page 605 it said?
579.
This is 579.
That would have been done on 12/2 for transfers to public assistance. Yeah,
Which date was it?
the second.
December 2nd. Okay. Amending the board's orders of December 2nd, 2014. Journal 90, page 579, resolution authorizing fund transfer be made to the Public Assistance Fund. And I have a resolution rescinding the board's orders of December 16th, 2014, volume 90, page 605, supplement to the permanent appropriations for the forfeited land tax sale fund, 055. They changed it from the resolution I just read to from this one, so those are the requests to the auditor's office. A resolution authorizing a programmatic agreement for coordination between the Seneca County Commissioners, the Ohio State Historic Preservation Office, and authorizing Holly Stacy as board president to sign. A resolution reappointing Fred Zoller to the Seneca County Law Library Resources Board. Resolution authorizing the addendum with Resource Solutions Associates on behalf of the Seneca County Emergency Management Agency. They needed to do an extension for, was it 90 days, Nikki? Is that in for 90 days?
I think it didn't really say a date on it.
Okay, I think he said 90 days. And I think that's all the resolutions I have.
I move we approve.
Seconded.
Big motion and second to approve resolutions as read. Any comments or questions on any of them?
I think so.
Noticed? All right, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Wagner,
Yes.
Commissioner Zoller,
Yes.
Commissioner Stacy.
Yes. I'll stand approved. As presented. This time.
Oh, I forgot to update, Delmer, she had asked us last week about Corsa going through the building.
Oh, sure.
I have talked to Brian Smith over at United Insurance, he's our local rep for Corsa, and also talked to John Brownlee. And they have no knowledge of Corsa going through that building prior. So I don't know where that information came from, but Corsa and Brian Smith said as far as they know, they've never gone through it. There was never a report done to go through there. And as for us insuring it for the future, it's like any other insurance. You either got to own it or you have to have the majority stake in the building. We're not going to insure somebody else's building, but if, just hypothetically, if we owned it or even leased it, then the insurance company would reevaluate it and give us the amount on then. So it's not, just wanted to address those questions that he had asked, so I did remember to ask.
All right. brings us to a time for citizens' comments. And at this time, do we have any?
I'm curious, this authorizing programmatic agreement for coordinating between the Seneca County Commissioners and the Ohio State Historic Preservation Office, what is that? I just was curious.
Did you have that printed out, Nikki, by any chance?
Yeah, but I think they had to sign it. I don't know if it's what they're signing now, that Jeff's signing.
No, this is Kimmel Cleaner.
Jeff Kimmel's.
Is that the farm ground one that they put them in the, or is that not, is that what that
I'm
one
not
is?
sure.
Apparently a good question.
I was just curious what it was, Ohio State Historic Preservation. I wondered what it was pertaining to.
Yeah, there's so much that we just, we are passed through on, but I'm not sure on that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Getting that answer. She didn't have that one in this file, did she?
No, that's just Kimmel Cleaner.
Well, I'm just curious.
I know.
Oh, it's right there in front of Holly, sorry.
Oh, top.
It's that one up
Is it
there.
this one?
Yeah.
Oh, it's administration of programs using the HUD allocated funds with delegated review responsibilities authorizing under 24 CFR Part 58. So this is for any of the CDBG, block grant, and funds from the state, Ohio Development Service Agency. So the funds that we would approve, all of the block grant paperwork and all that stuff, authorizing me to be able to sign that stuff so we can move those things through. So any of those grants that regional planning puts together for us is what it is.
Okay, with historic preservation.
I think one of the things you can use your block grant for is historic preservation if you choose
Okay,
to preserve something.
okay. That makes sense.
Most things also need sign off by the State Historic Preservation Office as well.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, thank you, I was curious.
That's a good
I
question.
can work to get a better answer from Karen who handles that in her office.
Any other citizens' comments? Tom?
Just a little comment. We're all aware that the courthouse lawn isn't in very good shape. But you know, a truckload of sand is a drop in a bucket what they're gonna need to level that. I'm just concerned about them moving a truckload of sand or truckloads of sand in that area. The ground is very soft now. I think that's something that needs to be addressed.
I don't know, other than it's just the ice rink area.
I know, but that's a big area, and a truckload of sand is just a drop in a bucket to put in there. It's gonna take multi truckloads, and a truckload of sand,
Well, it doesn't go very far.
very, very heavy. Very heavy. I just, you know, backing over the sidewalk and stuff, if that's their plans,
Sick, are you?
I'd be concerned about it, or I am concerned about it.
Because we'll verify with her how much sand they're talking about, but, and how they're gonna get it up in there.
I didn't, yeah, I don't think the email addressed how much.
You find that
I've
out.
already emailed her that she's got the trucks on the way.
You go down and look.
They're the ones that are gonna have to break it out or move it out, whatever they do, but
I'll tell you what, why don't I email her that when the truck arrives, that we have maintenance go over there.
yeah.
I mean, because, Tom, you're right, pulling that heavy truck over the sidewalk, you can break the side, I mean, just.
Well, I think they would know better than to do that, but
Well, you would
There's no way to get it across, unless you,
yeah.
we want to be accommodated as possible. Again, I'm not gonna belabor this,
Well,
but
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I
but
mean,
I think we're stretching use of county property a little too far.
Any other citizen comments at this time? Okay. And we would like to, do we have some other folks in the house who want to come in? I think there's some. I'm behind my signing.
Print and
You
sign.
set up tomorrow?
Hmm?
Are you going to set up tomorrow?
Oh, yeah.
I'll be there. It's not legal.
Yeah.
We're gonna work signatures on whatever was first. I asked Michelle.
Yeah.
Send it to me.
Print and then sign.
So everybody wants to come to you, us that we can do
My kids have to go to their in-laws.
Print on that line and sign on that line.
Oh,
Yeah.
We're a little early, but that's okay.
Yeah. We are, we have got through things a whole lot faster than we thought we were gonna get through things today.
You did.
Hi, well, hi there. Hi there. But we should proceed, right?
Yeah, go ahead, go, yeah. 11.
And this time, this is not Jeff's official last meeting. He's got one more. He's gotta show up next Tuesday. Well, if he doesn't, we're in trouble because Fred's already said he's gonna be gone, so I can't have a meeting by myself.
nobody would argue with you.
But,
This is true.
That's true. That's true.
Non-debated.
But to extend our appreciation to Jeff and in recognition of all of your years of public service, we have this gift for you. We'd like you to open this up and then we'll read the inscription. I'm not gonna hug you or anything. Okay? Just do the old knuckle bump.
We're good at opening these things. Schoolhouse to the State House, your time serving on the Board of Commissioners, as our state representative, on behalf of the Board of Education, involved in your sharing valuable insights on behalf of the public. Saline County is a better place, thanks to you. Presented December 23rd, in recognition of 23 years of service. For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life for the ransom for many. Mark 10:45. Thank you. Thank you.
It's a bittersweet occurrence, I guess. We greatly want to thank Jeff for his years of public service, and Seneca County is a better place thanks to your service. And I know I'm greatly going to miss you. You've been a tremendous mentor to me over the years, especially in the last 2 years, serving with you on this Board of Commission. So, like I said, we didn't want things to go by without recognizing you for that.
Very, very, very nice. Thank you. Had a wonderful time.
All right.
Seneca County is a better place today because of Jeff Wagner's.
Thank you. Thank you all for all of your support and help, and it's all teamwork. We all work together and make it happen.
And we are having our Christmas potluck and gathering. We wanted to do this for Jeff's last meeting that we'd all be at today together. So we'll stick around for that as well, but we'll wrap up this meeting here. Any other citizens' comments at this time? Anybody like to say anything? No?
Carly, you ready for him back now?
Sure.
All right.
Got a big list prepared for him, don't you?
No, not really. He's got the list for me, actually.
Is that food?
Is it food?
Jump right to the chase. Is that food?
Whose idea was the cake? the old guy tasering a duck. We had the discussion about the geese out there at the
Sheriff's office.
sheriff's office. At the same time, we were discussing buying tasers at
At
one of our
the
meetings. I
Attica meeting.
suggested tasering the geese, and they gave me this a while back with a "don't taser me" on it. Now
So now we know what he's gonna be doing on his free time. So, Nikki drew that up and,
Oh, very good.
she,
it looks like me too.
Yeah, that could be you, Jeff. I don't know where the red boots are, but that's good. I did a good job with that. All right, if there's no further comments to be made, at this time I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll move.
Second it.
And second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
We stand adjourned at 10:55. Thank you.